What's up, everybody? Appreciate you guys joining me on this Wednesday. What up, Uncle E? Be sure to go out and check out Changing of the Hip Hop Guards. EPMD box. Got some shoes. Got a long box CD. My man Yella is joining now. What's going on?
Oh, not too much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
I had to kind of try to figure this out.
All over again?
I've done it before, but I'm like, man.
No doubt.
I know how to
you go ahead and set up.
That's all I know how to do.
That's what's up. For everybody joining right now, this is episode 171 of History Lessons. I am with the legendary DJ Yella from the world's most dangerous crew, NWA. Like I said, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you. No problem.
Is there an echo? Can you hear everything okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I can
No echo?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to take it back a little bit and then work our way up to what you currently got going on. Talk to a little bit about the book. At what point did you start working on this, and kind of talk us through the process of getting your story out?
I did it through the whole year and a half of the pandemic. I had never wrote a book before. I never read a book at all. Besides, going to school, you don't read novels in school. So not the school Compton I went to, but I wrote it that whole year. I started from young to 2020 when I ended.
Gotcha. They said it's a little echo. Let me see if I could take these out and correct it. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Still hear me? Let me know if there's an echo in the chat. Yes, sounds like it's still. Is your volume all the way up, Yella?
You know something? I don't know. Probably was. I cut it down some.
Check.
I can hear you a little bit. Yeah.
Check. Still a little echo.
I can hear you perfect.
Okay. All right. Take us back. A lot of people may not know you were one of 9 children. Take us back to a day in the life of growing up, being one of 9 children.
It was kind of hard for me because I was number 8, and it was my sister under me, so I was the youngest boy. And the crazy part is, it was the same parents through all the kids. I guess once all the kids was born, and then they got divorced, so I was left just with my mother and 9 kids. So it was hard for me, but something. Growing up, I still had fun, even though we was poor. But I still had fun, though. Still had fun.
Right. Can you talk a little bit about the transition after the divorce from L.A. to Compton?
I might have been about 5, maybe, or somewhere around there. I really didn't know. I really didn't understand, I mean, by the time I had my sister, because my sister's 2 years younger, so they had to be right after she was, had to be divorced. So I really didn't understand it. When the kids really don't understand, but they don't forget.
Right.
So I just roll with whatever come my way.
No doubt. Can you explain a little bit how DJing for your brother Joseph led to you, pursuing your destiny?
That's crazy because it wasn't called DJing, but that's what it really was. Even though it was the little 8-track tapes and I'm just pulling one out, putting one in. But it was just crazy because I had to been in junior high maybe or something. And he said, can you just play the music for the reception? I'm like, okay, never done it before. And it came natural for me. I figured out the night before I'll cue all the songs. So when I put a tape in, it's right on the main song of the album. So I was kind of pre-programming back in them days, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And I never dreamed about DJing. I never thought about that at all.
Right. You picked up the drums earlier on. Were you self-taught or transitioning to doing drums in school with the marching band? Is that how you honed your skills?
No. I knew around the time of just DJing for the first time, and I got on the drums around the same time. I just got on them and played. So I didn't teach myself nothing. I just knew how to play because my other brother Carlos, he played drums too, and we just got it naturally. I don't know where it came from, but I just got on the drums and I could play. Anything I could think of, I could play.
Right. I want to bounce around just a little bit about in the book and get some highlights and some points that I feel like the public should know, but they got to go out and get the book for the overall story. But
and this the book. This the song,
yes.
the paperback.
Take us back to the Bell, double barrel shotgun, and
Taco Bell
line. Nobody moved, nobody gets hurt.
Oh yeah, I mean I remember that because I was in 11th grade working at Taco Bell on Crenshaw and Imperial. It used to be a Taco Bell there, and I guess I'm making an order or I'm making me something, and my back is to the to the door. Then as soon as I turn around, the shotgun was on the counter, and he said, "Give me all the money or something." I was like, "I guess this is a robbery." Like, wow, because I think about it now. All it took is a split second for him to accidentally pull the trigger. I'd have been cut in half right there. So, I was being watched over when I didn't even know it. Because I could have definitely died right there very easily. And we only had because they don't keep very much money in the register. You drop it. So if it was $40, I would have been surprised.
Right.
I remember that. I don't remember his face because he didn't have a mask or nothing. It was like sawed off. I was like, whoa. Because back then, it ain't like YouTube and all this TikTok and all that. So you don't see all this kind of crazy stuff. Back then, it was just raw.
Did that moment inspire that line on Eazy Does It album?
Nah, I doubt it. Nah, I just stole that from the album. It sounded good. Because that line came from Coming to America. When Samuel Jackson came in, he said, "Nobody moved, nobody get hurt." But it's actually a reggae song, too, on the reggae song, Bob Marley song. So that line it's just a great line.
Right. Take us back to ripping and how you became a member of the Wrecking Crew through ripping.
Oh yeah, hanging posters. That was like getting in the sorority. You got to do something. So they said, put a rip on these posters. Uncle Jam's Army poster. I was like, rip? What is that? He said, tear the half of the poster off with the date and where the place is going to be in the time, and leave the rest of the poster. I said, all right. So they didn't understand. They thought I was just going to go around and get their poster. I put a rip on any poster that was on the pole. So when I came back that evening, I had a trunk full of posters. Because I think it might have been 20 cent a poster, a quarter poster, or whatever it was. They were surprised. I'm like, I ripped everybody's poster.
You were one of the first to introduce mixtapes with techno and rap. Would you say you were the first to introduce mixtapes to the West Coast?
Well, it was me and Unknown DJ Unknown. We started doing mixing tapes. This was before Dre and them was even around. We started doing a real mixtape. Nowadays, mixtapes are just songs from other artists. And not mixtapes back then was 30 minutes each side, full mixes. So we started selling them in the club called Designer Music. So that had to be close to one of the first mixes on tapes back then. This was 82, maybe 83. I would be surprised.
Right. You were one of the first guys to bring Curtis Blow out to the West Coast. Can you take us back to that night and what you learned from his DJ?
Well, Lonzo the Wrecking Crew, he was the owner of the club, and he hired Curtis Blow for 2 shows around Christmas time. 'Cause Christmas rap was his song at the time, and he came out. And his brother, Davey D, which is Davey DMX, that's his real brother. And I just talked to him on the phone a couple of weeks ago. This is the first time I talked to him in 40 years. And he remembered that when they was like doing a sound check or something, I heard scratching on songs like Grandmaster Flash, The Wheels of Steel. I heard it, but I never seen it. There was no YouTube. There was none of that. And he was doing, I was like, and I was learning. Then he said, do it like this. Take the mat, they had, on turntables, they got the rubber mat so the record don't slide or do nothing. So he said, take that off, put some wax paper on it, and then put a penny on top of the needle so it don't move. And I was just like, okay. And I just learned right there. So I think, I ain't trying to brag, I think I had to have been one of the first. Because this was 83, maybe 83. Because New York was already doing it. I mean, I was close. If I wasn't the first, I was right there.
Right. Can you take us back to meeting Dre, not knowing Dre at the same time, but almost battling him that night, and how that led to you guys becoming almost inseparable?
Yeah, he a guy from the neighborhood, a big baller, got a little money, and he brought him up there, and then I DJ from 12 to 2. That was the main hot spot in the club. And he brought this tall, skinny kid. I'm like, and he said, yeah, he want to battle. Let's bet. I'm like, do you know who I am? And really, I would stoop down to battle him. But we never battled, but we just, for some reason, we just got along. We just clicked after that. I mean, we was like, the old saying, white on rice. We was, you see him, you see me. You see me, you see him. That's just how we clicked. Like a brother, like not him as a younger brother, but just him as just a brother. Like we just two brothers together.
Right.
We just happen to have two different mothers and fathers. But we clicked. And that was for years.
You and Dre have been one of the first to do radio mixes in LA. You are also credited for bringing Run DMC as well to LA for the first shows.
Well, not me, but Lonzo and the club brought them. That was their first show because the next we had them on a Friday night. Uncle Jam had them on the Saturday, so we got them first. And that's when me and Dre seen their show. They had Sucker MCs out at the time. It was a 10-minute show. That's it. And we seen their show, and we looked at each other like, that's it? That's how you make records? That's all? And it's just like, from then on, it was music and history after that.
What was your best memory of meeting Jam Master Jay that night?
It was pretty cool. We both got on the turntable, after they showed. We both, just rocking the house a little bit DJing because he was a real DJ too. And he was cool. Only time I ever met him, only time I ever saw him. I didn't talk to Run and DMC. I didn't talk to them, but Jam Master Jay, we had, a good little conversation.
Right. Can you speak on how their sound inspired your first single, Slice, for the Wrecking Crew?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was the beat. That's all they had was just the beat. And I remember that. I don't know if it was me or Clientele came up with, I just talked to Clientele the other day about this. And I think Lonzo or something mentioned it about a record. Even though Slice wasn't, to me, the song was whack. But it opened the door. It cracked the door open. How to do, how to go in the studio, how to do this, how to program a drum machine, all this kind of stuff. And then a little while later, Dre came out with Surgery. So it was just the initial start of it. I'm not trying to take no credit or nothing like that, but it was just, that was the first song that we did. It was me and Clientele.
I don't want to ruin too much of the book because, like I said, the people got to go out and get it.
There's so much in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just one more before we jump to your highlights and best memories of your career. Take us back to meeting Easy for the first time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember he, for some reason, I knew this girl. She worked in Bullocks back then. It's like like one of the big stores, Macy's. It was like a Macy's, pre-Macy's. For some reason, she was giving me free guest outfit. I'm talking about jackets, shirts, pants. I was like the guest kid for nothing. Because she lived in Cerritos, which was a uppity neighborhood. But she was giving me outfits. So I had so much. And when I met E, I'm like, you know, and he liked my gas. I said, yeah, you want to buy some? He said, yes. I was selling him gas. And I'm like, then we just clicked. Everybody clicked. It wasn't like, oh, you had to go through this trial. No, it was like, it was made. The group was made to be what it was.
Right. Lots of highlights and memories, like I said, over the years. Can you take us back to some of the memories of Ruthless Records? So I'm going to list some groups, and you could tell me your best memories if you had any hand in production, whether it was a little bit, a lot, if you wasn't there. Just let us know maybe some fun facts maybe we don't know. So I'm going to say JJ Fad.
Our first gold single and gold album. People don't really understand it. That was the beginning of Ruthless. Even though Boys in the Hood was the start. But that was the song. And I just seen MCJB just a couple of days ago for the first time since back then. And I remember meeting them in the Wrecking Crew days before they had songs and stuff. And I remember meeting them. I was kind of like, ooh, I want to meet that one. But that never happened. And then Arabian had did the song already. And then somehow we got it off of Dream Team Records. And then we redid Supersonic. Because the original Supersonic had 5 members on it. But the new one have 3. Same lyrics, almost. I think they changed the lyrics a little bit. But it was cool working with them. You know, because when you walk in the studio, you see me on the board, Dre down there in front of the turntable with the headphones on, and Arabian was there on that album too. So we just did our thing. That's how we worked. That's how you work when you walk in. I don't care what album, man. That's how it was.
Speaking of Arabian Prince, did you have any hand in on his debut album?
No. Arabian was like a solo artist. But, totally by himself. He was with Bobby Jimmy and the Critters and stuff like that. So, everybody was just, me and Dre was in the Wrecking Crew. Arabian was solo. E wasn't a rapper. Ren wasn't a rapper. And then Q was in CIA. So, it was just like all separate. And then, I don't know who idea was it to put it all together like one super group. That's what the initial thought was. Like all these so-called people, we wasn't nobody at then, but it was the super group. That's what it was.
Right. D.O.C.
I played the drums on this album. On I forgot the name, Final Finale or something. I played the drums. Doc was a cold writer. Matter of fact, he still is a cold writer. Doc was finna take over the soloist, rapper. He was finna blow everybody out the water. LL, all of them. Because that first album, he had such a style. Just like E when he started writing for E. We Want Easy. You could tell E's lyrics was totally different from Boys in the Hood and A-Ball in the earlier songs. He just had a cold way of doing it and didn't have to cuss to do it.
Right.
That's how cold it was.
Above the Law.
No, I had nothing to do with that. They was cool. Dre worked on them out and they was good. I mean, they was, I think, 450,000, just short of gold. They one of the few that didn't make gold, but they were so close to gold.
Miss Yella.
Nothing. Some Dre, we had just finished Straight Outta Compton. No, it was that Doc's album. No, it might have been Michelle's album. I remember we just finished Straight Outta Compton on a Friday. We mixed it and everything. On Monday, he said, I'm going in to do Michelle's album. I looked at him like, nah, I'm good. because we had just went through making this album. And remember, we had made Straight Outta Compton, Easy Does It, JJ Fad stuff. So I was like, nah, I'm good. I just like, I'm taking a break. I'm good. So, nah, I didn't do nothing on that. I just played drums for her live show. I recorded the song or something for her. I remember, I forgot the slow song I think I played the drums for when she performed live.
Okay. Cocaine as Who Am I?
Well, remember, that's two different Rufuses. That's the newer Rufus. Anything Above the Law was the last of the real Rufus. Now, I'm not going to say real because they was ruthless too, but all that came after Dre left. I'll say before Dre left and after Dre left. All that was after Dre left. And that album, I didn't have nothing to do with that album at all.
Okay. Blood of Abraham.
They was in the before Dre, but I had nothing to do with that.
Okay.
Nah, I never. I don't even remember if I even heard their song. Like Terry B and that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah. Nah, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Yo Mo Malky.
That was an album. Dre was supposed to do the album. Or he wanted Dre to do the album, but he didn't want to do it. He didn't feel like doing it. So he put it in my lap. I was like, whoa. What? All by myself? And I had to do it all by myself. And you know what's so crazy? They was too far ahead of themselves.
Yeah.
They had what they talked about, and then we decided to take the cussing, don't let them cuss. So it kind of hurt them, but they got caught in red tape. The label didn't really know what to do with them. They was great. They was very talented. And because I know how, because the song For the Love of Money, Bone Thugs and Harmony used the same track.
Yeah.
So that means that album was too far ahead of itself. Like
right.
3 or 4, maybe 3, I don't know if it was 4 years ahead of itself. So
right.
they just got caught at the wrong time.